The news continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Inflation rate in the country has yet to peak despite easing slightly last month, according to financial analysts. Inflation climbed to a fresh 14-year high of 8.7% in January before slightly dipping to 8.6% in February. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas has since raised key policy rates by 400 basis points and is expected to deliver at least another 25 basis point hike in its policy meeting next week. Despite the easing in February, Moody's Analytics believes that interest rate hikes in the country may be far from over for now. Meanwhile, New York-based research firm Global Sources sees inflation accelerating to 6.5% this year from last year's 5.8%. Meanwhile, the LTFRB will be granting special permits for selected buses during the Holy Week. Around 300 buses have reportedly applied for the special permit, but the agency is expecting this number to increase to about 800. The special permit allows more buses to travel to provinces amid the expected exodus of passengers on Holy Week. The special permit will be effective starting March 31st to April 17.
We're expecting also na yung mga passenger hindi agad babalik after Holy Week. So, na-anticipate na ng board na extend na yung duration para yung availability ng mga public transport natin, especially the provincial buses, ay hindi magkaroon ng kakulangan.
Meanwhile, the agency said it won't be able to implement the fare discount anytime soon since they have yet to receive the 1.3 billion peso budget for the program. The agency is set to hold talks with LGUs to discuss the routes covered in the fare discount.
Maraming parameters possible na ito yung ruta na pwede. So, kumbaga marami pa hong mga tinitingnang aspeto para po pag na-identify po yung mga routes nito ay mayroon pong impact po yung ating service contracting program.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Former United States President Donald Trump says he expects to be arrested on Tuesday for undisclosed charges. Trump said he got the information about the arrest from illegal leaks at the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Reuters said the Manhattan DA's office declined to comment on Trump's claims. However, earlier this year, the DA presented evidence to a grand jury investigating an alleged payment made by Trump's camp to porn actress Stormy Daniels. Trump is also facing a state-level criminal probe in Georgia over efforts to overturn the 2020 election results in the state. If indicted, Trump will be the first former U.S. president to face criminal charges. Some Russians are choosing to start over in Argentina rather than stay in their country amid its war with Ukraine. The details in this Bloomberg Quick Take.
We lost all that we could call our home in very fast time, and Argentina was so kind to us.
Alla Prigolovkina and her husband Andrei Ushakov arrived in Argentina in July last year. They're from Russia but decided to leave their country because of the war in Ukraine. Now they have a son, Lev Andres, who was granted Argentine citizenship at birth.
I'm afraid that he can die on this war and I will grow our baby alone.
They're hardly alone. More than 22,000 Russians have entered Argentina since the start of last year. Among them, over 5,000 were pregnant women. Argentina doesn't require visas for Russian tourists, and it automatically grants birthright citizenship to children born in the country. Having an Argentine child also speeds up the process for the parents to obtain residency and, after a couple of years, their own passports. This is an attractive prospect. An Argentine passport gives its holder access to 170 countries. Most Russians arriving in Argentina are well-off professionals, like Maxim Levoshin, who moved to the country with his pregnant wife in December.
I have a special education, like a mathematical and programmer. The government can use my skills for the war, and I do not want to participate in this process.
Argentine immigration officials are worried that some Russians are coming into the country to get citizenship for their children before moving somewhere else. About 60% of Russians who arrived in the country in the last year have already left. But others, like Prigolovkina and Ushakov, are planning to make Argentina their new home.
I hope he will be real Argentinian, not like, to take passport and go somewhere around, no.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.